Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to give it just a couple minutes for everybody to join, and then we'll get started. And while we're waiting to get started, everybody, if you guys will just over in the chat, just introduce yourself, put your name in there and your program of study, just so that we can get to know each other a little bit. And I'll do the same. Hi, Trey. Alita. Nice to meet you guys. Awesome. We have lots of our business students, culinary students on today, HR. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know we're going to have people that are kind of just trickling in, but we have a lot of content to cover this morning, so I don't want to wait too long for us to get started. So first off, welcome. If this is one of your first career service workshops, I'm super excited that you guys are here. This morning, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn and everything that LinkedIn can do for you as a student and also as you prepare for your career search. It's a pretty powerful platform, and we're going to kind of go through and learn a little bit more about how to create a really stellar LinkedIn profile and then how to use it to your advantage. So over in the chat, do any of you guys already have a LinkedIn profile? You can just put a yes or a no over there, just so I can kind of gauge. Yes, very good. No, awesome, yes. Okay, so it looks like we're a little mixed. Awesome, you guys. Okay, so for those of you that already have one, you're gonna find some value in today by hopefully learning some different ways and techniques that you can kind of buff it up and make it even better. And for those of you that don't have one, you're going to learn about how to create one. So I think there'll be value for both sides today. This is being recorded, so I do want to let you guys know that. You will be able to re-watch this entire presentation on our YouTube channel, and I will send you the link to that here shortly. So if there's something that we cover and you go, oh man, what did she say about this piece of my profile? You can go back and re-watch it starting tomorrow. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So, as students, right, at Pima College, you guys are in an exciting chapter of your life. You're in school, and I know that it can be really stressful, right? You're trying to juggle all of these different priorities. Some of you probably have families and jobs outside of just doing your work, but you're starting to really plan out your career path. You're trying to think, okay, what am I going to do when I finish school? Like, what am I going to do once I finish my program of study? You're going to start searching for jobs. You're going to need to start building a professional network and staying up to date in the industry that you're working in, right? So some of you are in culinary, some of you are in business and accounting. You're going to want to be able to stay up to date with those industries. That's a lot that you have on your plate. And the one thing that LinkedIn can help you with is all of those things. So LinkedIn is a super powerful platform that can help you guys really meet all of these different goals. It can seem a little daunting at first. It can be a little overwhelming, especially if you don't yet have a LinkedIn. And even for some of you that have created one, but maybe not done a lot with it, because you're kind of going, oh my goodness, this is a lot. I don't even know where to start. So that's what we're really going to be going through today. You can use this amazing LinkedIn platform to communicate and connect with people. You can find and apply for jobs on LinkedIn. You can do research for interviews, research companies, research people that are going to be interviewing you. You can strengthen your digital footprint, and you can do so many other things. So I hope that you guys are dreaming big and you're starting to really set some of these different goals. And I'm going to help you with figuring out how to be most successful in your career search. And it starts with this. So let's get started. Let me just click here. All right. So why should you be using LinkedIn, right? This is a question that I get a lot from different students. And one of the reasons that you should be using LinkedIn is to research companies. So some of you probably already have an idea of companies that you want to work for. Maybe you already have some places that are dream places to work. You can be researching these companies on LinkedIn. Another reason to make sure that you have your LinkedIn profile is to figure out what positions are you qualified for and where can you find those positions and how can you find what's up-to-date job listings. We're going to figure out how to do that on LinkedIn today. How can you show employers that you're a strong fit for their jobs? One of the best ways to show an employer that you are a solid fit for a position they're hiring for is to have a very strong LinkedIn profile. How can you stay up to date on your industry, right? So if you're going to be going into the accounting industry, if you're going to be going into HR, because I saw somebody on here that's going to do HR, being able to stay up to date on the trends and the things that are happening in your industry are critical, especially when you go into an interview. And so if you're able to speak to some of these trends, you're going to have a better opportunity to get that job. But how can you figure that out? You can do it on LinkedIn. You can network with your LinkedIn profile. You can ask questions about companies and positions, and you can also get recommendations on LinkedIn. So different than your resume, LinkedIn is a place where you can actually have people go and recommend you. So when a recruiter or a hiring manager goes to your LinkedIn profile, they can see, oh, wow, like Lee has all of these recommendations from professors or from people that have worked with them. Amazing. So that's another thing that you can do on your LinkedIn profile. Now, one of the questions that I get most often from students is, what is the difference between LinkedIn and my resume? So, some of you probably are already thinking, oh, I think I have a good idea of the difference. Others of you are probably thinking to yourself, yeah, why on earth do I need to have both of these things? This seems like overkill. So let's talk a little bit about the difference between the two. So the biggest difference between the way your LinkedIn profile differs from your resume is the depth, first off. So when I say depth, what I mean is your resume is really straightforward, right? It's listing your education, your work experience, your accomplishments, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. It's short, it's sweet, it's concise, so that a recruiter sees your resume and can decide, okay, there's somebody that I want to hire for my job or I want to interview for a job. Now, your LinkedIn profile gives you the opportunity to elaborate on all of those different things. So whereas your resume has to be really short, sweet, and concise, your LinkedIn profile is really designed to provide you that depth and that opportunity to share your enthusiasm, some of your personality, some of the things that motivate you in your life. So LinkedIn allows you to share all of these things. And you can do that through the way that you write things on your LinkedIn profile. You can do that by highlighting your volunteer experience, things that you're interested in, and you can also share different multimedia. So you could share videos or articles or things that you've written or that you've done to really give some depth to your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn also allows you to showcase endorsements of skills and powerful recommendations. I mentioned the recommendation piece already. I'm going to mention it again when we get further into this, and I'm going to show you what I mean by this. But LinkedIn allows you to really showcase all of the things that you're awesome at and things that your resume doesn't have room for. And lastly, LinkedIn is a living, breathing document on the web. So it's really meant to highlight you. It's your opportunity to showcase yourself, to brag about yourself, and to really go more into detail about what really makes you you. You're able to network on LinkedIn, build these connections, and update your profile in real time so that everybody can see anytime something changes. So maybe you've added a new volunteer opportunity, or you've gotten hired for an exciting new job or internship. You can turn on your notifications so that people see that, and it's a living, breathing document. And I'm going to show you guys now how to do all of these different things. All right, so as we go through the presentation and I start going through all of the different parts of your LinkedIn profile, if you guys have questions, either pop them over into the chat or the Q&A box. I will try and be really cognizant of stopping and making sure that we don't have any questions before we continue, because I definitely want this to be something that you guys get a lot of value from. So don't be shy to ask questions as we go through. All right, so how to set up your LinkedIn profile. So for those of you that already have a LinkedIn profile, this one slide is probably the only slide in this presentation that will not apply to you. For those of you that haven't yet set up your LinkedIn profile, this is how you do it. It's pretty straightforward. You're just going to go straight to linkedin.com. And you're going to click join now, the same way that you would join anything else. You'll enter in your email address, you'll create a password, etc. Now, what I'm going to caution you here is your email address. Before you enter your email address, make sure that you're using a professional email, one that you haven't, had since like junior high or high school that maybe isn't as professional. We all probably have one of those. If you don't have a professional looking email address, you can create one really quickly with Gmail or on Hotmail or whatever it might be. The reason I want you to make sure that you're using a professional email address is because once you get your profile up and going and you get a little bit more seasoned using LinkedIn, you will have the opportunity to show your email address on your profile. And since this is a professional networking site used for job career searching, you want to make sure that your email address is one that is professional. So make sure you have that. So you'll sign up and then simply follow the prompts. So you'll fill out some personal information. If you don't have a lot of work experience, you'll choose I am a student. And what that will do is it'll help you create a profile that's more focused on education, skills, training that you've had. And then you'll fill out your program of study, the school that you're attending. It'll send you a verification code to your email. You'll just take that code to verify your account and you're ready to go. So the first thing it'll have you do is search for contacts. You can import contacts from your inbox. So if you already have a bunch of contacts in your email, you can choose to have it import those and it'll automatically find LinkedIn profiles for those people. Or you can skip that and you can search for your own LinkedIn contacts on your own by going to the search bar. And we're going to go in and show you how to do that here in a little bit. So this is how you set up your LinkedIn profile. Not too hard, not too crazy. It's pretty self-explanatory and straightforward. But once you have your LinkedIn profile, one of the first things that you're going to need to do is your profile picture. So the profile picture is one of the most important pieces of your LinkedIn profile. The reason I say this is because if your intent is to use your LinkedIn profile for career and job searching, for networking, for anything related to professional career and job search, which likely it is, that's the reason you'd have it. You want to make sure that you, one, have a LinkedIn profile picture, and two, it's a professional picture. So the reason it's so critical to have a LinkedIn profile picture is because if you don't, likely hiring managers, recruiters, people trying to fill open positions, if they see your profile, they're going to probably skip over it. The people who have profile pictures get 21 times more views and 9 times more connection requests. So connection requests are when somebody says, "Ooh, I want to connect with them." They either know you or they see your skill set and they're interested in talking with you about an opportunity. So you don't want to miss out on connection requests and you don't want to miss out on people viewing your LinkedIn profile. So make sure that you have a profile. So that first picture right there that you see on the bottom with no photo, that's a big no-no. Find a photo and upload it, but make sure it's a professional photo. So you want to make sure that there's no background noise. So you'll see that second photo in my example. Obviously he's out on a fishing boat and he's fishing, but that really isn't doing him any justice for a profile photo. Make sure you're the only person in your picture. Make sure it's a high quality picture and make sure that it's not too small. Now, you don't have to go out and get professional headshots taken for LinkedIn. You can do something as simple as taking a selfie with your cell phone. You can make sure that there's no background behind you, and then it's just from your head up. Make sure your lighting is proper and that there's nothing else behind you. And that's going to be totally fine. Just make sure that whatever profile you put here is just of yourself, professional, high quality. Again, you want to make sure that you grab the attention of the person who's looking at your profile picture, not somebody that's going to go, I don't know, their picture is not really very professional. I think I'll skip to the next profile. You don't want that to happen. Also, of course, no cartoons, no pictures of your pets, and no pictures of what you did over the weekend. Keep it super professional. All right, so any questions so far that we have on any of this? I haven't seen any questions or any chat come through, so I think we're okay. But reminding you guys, if you do have anything as we're going through, make sure and stop and ask. All right, so let's talk a little bit about customizing your background. So for those of you that already have a LinkedIn profile, over in the chat, do you guys already have a background set up? Did you know this was an option? And you can just simply put yes or no. No, okay, no. I did set one up. Okay, awesome. Brownie points to you. No. Okay, so it's totally fine if you don't have one yet, but I'm going to show you how to fix this. So one of the most important things next to your profile picture, and you guys can see my profile picture right here. I actually took it with my cell phone. I did it in black and white, so there wasn't any crazy background noise in the back, and that's what I use. But you'll also see here that I have a background image. And so your background image on the top of your profile is another way to serve as an attention-getting, eye-grabbing piece on your profile so that people go, oh, look at that. It's colorful, it's catching my eye. I think I want to take a look at her profile a little bit more. So there's a few ways that you can do this. When you go to your profile, you'll see, and you can see here in this banner image, there's a little pencil at the top right, that little blue pencil in the white circle. You can click on that button and it'll give you options of pre-made LinkedIn banner backgrounds that you can choose from. And so there's a whole bunch, and they change them pretty often so that there's variety. So you can use one of the pre-made LinkedIn templates if you want to, or you can make your own. So have any of you guys ever heard of the program Canva? And you can put over in the chat yes or no. So Canva, okay, so yes, Vanessa says yes, Lee says no. Canva is a really incredible program. And so it's free. You guys can sign up for the free account. And what it does is it allows you to create your own eye-catching, really nice formatted marketing materials. Now, for the purposes of today's training, for today's workshop, it does have an opportunity for you to create LinkedIn backgrounds. So you can sign up for a free Canva account. It's canva.com, CANVA.com. Sign up for the free account. You'll be able to go to the search bar and just type in LinkedIn. And down from that, you'll be able to see LinkedIn background or LinkedIn banner. And from there, you can create your own. You can download it, and then you can upload it to your LinkedIn profile using this little blue pencil. So this would be really helpful for someone if you're a graphic design student, if you want to highlight some of your creativity. Maybe you have, even if you're accounting or HR or culinary, maybe you want to be able to take some pictures of some of the work that you've done and just kind of make it kind of graphically appealing. You can create your own banners here. And I did put the pixels. So if you do want to go to Canva, you can also just make your own image and you can choose what size you want it to be. The correct size is right there. So play around with it a little bit, but I definitely recommend that everybody goes to their LinkedIn profile and figures out a background image, even if it's just one of the standard ones that they already have. All right, so we're going to continue on. And now we're going to talk a little bit about personalizing your headline. So on your LinkedIn profile, you have something called a headline. The headline is incredibly important. It's the first thing next to your picture and your image that people are going to see. So again, think of LinkedIn as a professional job search and networking site, right? And the people that are using LinkedIn are recruiters, are hiring managers, are people that are looking to fill positions. And they're going to type in, I'm looking for a student in the accounting program in Tucson, Arizona. You want your profile to come up in that search from that recruiter, right? You want them to say, ooh, that is going to be a really good fit for the job. So one of the first things they're going to see next to your profile picture is your headline. And this is your opportunity to really grab their attention so that they actually click in and read your entire LinkedIn profile. So it's kind of like your chance to get them hooked, right? To really get them to see it. So your headline is going to default to your education information. So for example, when you signed up, if you put, I'm accounting student at Pima Community College, your headline's going to probably already say student at Pima Community College or accounting student at Pima Community College, depending on how you signed up. Now, you're going to want to change that a little bit. You're going to want to go in, and you're going to also want to include things that you're passionate about. So this isn't a chance for you to share a paragraph about yourself. Again, it's just one quick sentence to grab their attention. So I put an example here. Example, business student at Pima Community College, passionate about marketing and business. Something as small and easy as that can be enough to grab the attention of someone that's looking at your profile. I am now going to pause my sharing really quick. I want to show you guys an example of what it is that I'm talking about. So give me just 1 second here. We're going to pop over to my LinkedIn profile. So you guys can see right here my LinkedIn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I'm a recruiter, that I'm a hiring manager looking to hire a student. And I'm going to type in the word student. And I want you guys to see what I see here. This is what is coming up in the search for a recruiter or a hiring manager looking to fill positions. So you'll see there's someone right here. It just says student at University of Arizona, University of Graduate student, student at University of Arizona. So none of these are grabbing my attention as a recruiter and making me go, oh, I want to talk to that person. But now look here. Now there's someone named Siobhan, student athlete at University of Michigan, looking for research and internship. That person catches my interest. They have something a little bit more than the other students that are coming up in my search. So when you guys are putting together your headline, think about this. Do you want it just to say that you're a student at Pima Community College? Or do you want yourself to stand out? So figure out something that you can write in that headline that'll grab their attention. So if you're a culinary student, you can say culinary student at the award-winning Pima Community College Culinary Studies Department. Or you could say, HR student, passionate about the areas of, recruiting and talent acquisition and HR, information systems. Choose something that really gets you excited about your program of study and include that in your headline to really set yourself apart. All right, so I'm going to go back to our presentation really quick here. All right, so we're back to our presentation talking about the headline. I think you guys have a pretty good understanding of what you could write here and why it's so important. Definitely just take some time to showcase yourself, because again, that's the first thing that someone is going to see. Next up is adding a summary. So this would be the next most important piece of your profile. Once somebody sees your headline, right, you've shown up in their search like I just showed you. Now they've decided, okay, I want to click into this person's profile. I want to learn a little bit more about them. And they're going to be able to see your summary. So your summary is your opportunity to really showcase what makes you you. What makes you stand out? What makes you tick? What are you passionate about? What are you excited about? It's your opportunity to share your personality, your career goals, your accomplishments, and also your mission statement, right? Like, what is it that you hope to achieve when you finish your program of study? What is it that you hope to be able to do in your career someday? You're really going to want your summary to resonate with the people who are looking at your profile. So think of it this way. The types of people that are going to be looking at your profile are probably looking at your profile because they're trying to fill opportunities within their company, or they're wanting to network with you because they want to learn from you. So the things that you want to put on your profile, you want to resonate with those people. So make it industry specific, right? Again, just like I said with your headline, this is your opportunity to expand on some of the things that you're really passionate about in your degree program. So for an HR student that's on the phone right now, I also happen to be an HR student, so I resonate with that one a little bit. You're going to want to put on there, why are you studying HR? What is it about the HR field that really gets you excited? What are your career goals within HR? And share all of that and the why behind that. You know, the same thing with our accounting students and our business students and our marketing students. Why did you choose that degree program? Why are you excited about that program? You really want to take this time to show somebody looking at your profile, you know, what makes you you and kind of what makes you tick. It's one of the main advantages that you have to having this LinkedIn profile is that you can do that, right? On your resume, you don't get to put all of this extra information, but on your LinkedIn profile, that's what it's for. So think of your LinkedIn as a extension of your resume. So how do you do it? You click on add a profile section, and then you're going to go to the about and choose add summary. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this in just 1 second. I'm going to go through a couple other pieces first before I give you an example. So it's really important that the first 3 sentences that you choose to use in your summary catch attention. It will be all that people can see when they go to your profile. And then they're going to have to click on see more to read the entire thing. And I'll show you an example of what that looks like in just a second. You're going to want to put information about yourself, how people would describe you. So think about how friends or colleagues, peers, mentors, professors would describe you. You're going to want to put any future aspirations and career goals. And then at the bottom, put something that says areas of expertise. And you can literally write that, areas of expertise, and then add keywords. So just add words of things that you're really skilled at. So, you know, if you're in accounting, right, you're probably very skilled in math. You probably know your way around a lot of different types of programs. You probably know Excel. You know, if you're in culinary, then I'm going to assume you know your way around the kitchen. You know how to do a lot of different things within that department. So share different keywords of things that you're really, really good at. Also consider different types of technology programs, different types of trainings that maybe you've been through. Consider things like time management, right? Communication skills, anything and everything that you are skilled at, you're going to want to put there. Now, some of you are probably thinking to yourself, okay, I don't know what I would put for keywords. I don't even know where to start with that. I'm going to show you some examples. So let me get my LinkedIn screen back up here to show you guys. Just 1 second. Okay, so here we are back on my LinkedIn profile screen. I'm first going to show you guys how to add your summary if you haven't already done it. So you're going to just click into your profile. You're going to go down here and you're just going to click on add section. And under add section, you can see that you can add all of these different things here. So you can add your intro, you can add your about section, you can add your background, skills, etc. So whenever I say go to add section on this workshop, this is what I'm talking about. It's right here at the top of your profile. So now let's talk a little bit about those keywords that I mentioned. So let's see, let's just type in HR student. We're going to look at some other student profiles to see, let's see what they've been putting on their profile. You know, let's see what other people in the HR arena are using for keywords. So let's, oh, of course, here we go. All right, so we have an HR student assistant here. Let's see, we have HR student. So here we go. Simone Gonzalez. She's a self-motivated, dedicated, and enthusiastic HR student, passionate about people and probably something in organizations. Let's see what else she has on here. So this has caught my attention. We can see some other things that she might be using in her profile. So here we go. She's talking down here about things that she's done, recruitment, training, onboarding of new employees. So if you have some experience doing some of those things, consider adding that. She has some experience doing workshops, some conferences. So you guys can search even by, let's see, HR. Let's do like an HR assistant, right? So maybe someone that's more entry level in HR. So here we go. We can look at Alyssa Riley's profile. Let's see what she has. She doesn't have much. She needs to come to our workshop. But you guys can go through and you can search for different people, look at their profiles and get some ideas of things that you want to add. And I see some stuff over here in the chat. Yes, it will be posted. It'll be posted on our YouTube tomorrow. And I will send you guys the YouTube link. In fact, I'll put it in the chat as well once we get closer to the end of the workshop so that you can rewatch it. Because I know it's a lot of info that we're going through. But so this is kind of just an example, you guys. You guys can search for HR positions if you're an HR student. You can see some of the things that they're putting, in their headline, in their summary, and you can search for different types of keywords or things that you think you should add under your areas of expertise when you're putting this together. All right, so I am going to go back to our presentation. All right, so we went through the summary pretty in detail. The summary, like I said, is your guys' opportunity to really catch somebody's attention. It's your opportunity to really get people to go, wow, okay, this is what makes Lee Lee. Like Lee is more than just a student at Pima Community College. These are all of the different things that they have to offer. So definitely take some time to craft the summary and make it something that really makes you pop and stand out. All right, so using keywords, we kind of just went through this. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit on this one, but a couple other things to note when it comes to using keywords. When a recruiter or a hiring manager or somebody using LinkedIn is using it, they do so by using the search bar. And the system, the LinkedIn, system is automatically looking for keywords. So it's really important that you take the time to put those on your profile. Like I said in your summary, you can put them under your areas of expertise. When it comes time to do work experience, which we're going to go through here in a second, you'll also want to add some of those keywords in. It just ups the chances that your profile is going to be seen in the search. So I, before coming to Pima, was a recruiter. I've been a recruiter for over 10 years. And my go-to when it came to finding candidates for positions, for students, for internships, was using LinkedIn. And I would use keywords. So if I was looking for an intern, to work in my business department, I would type in intern, business, Tucson. And then I would contact all the students that came up in there. So you're going to want to make sure that those keywords, right, intern, business, Tucson, are in your profile so that you show up. And it will be the same depending on your program of study. So accounting or culinary or HR, whatever it might be. To be found, you have to make sure that you have those right keywords. So it is kind of an algorithm. It is kind of like a little bit of a game to make sure you have everything on your profile. We already kind of went through some examples to see what other people use, but take the time to search through other people's profiles, right? Click on them, see what they're writing, see what keywords they're using, and then use some of that on your own. You can also look at company pages. So if there's certain companies that you're wanting to work for, you can go to the company LinkedIn pages where you're going to find a ton of information and things that you can add to your profile. You can check job postings in the job search area on LinkedIn. So that's another way that you can do it. And then kind of an expert tip, a little insider tip, something that I always like to use is something called tagcrowd.com. So you can save this URL, you can go to it. What it allows you to do, and I'm actually going to go to the website right now to show you guys, is it allows you to create a word cloud. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Becca, why on earth would I want to create a word cloud? We're talking about LinkedIn right now. This doesn't make any sense to me. Let me show you. So let's say you found a position on LinkedIn that you're really interested in, right? Maybe you were, searching a profile or, searching a job and you're interested in that position. You can copy and paste all of the information that's on the job. You can go to Tag Crowd right here. You're just going to paste it in and we're going to press visualize. Now what you see just came up is a word cloud. And these are the words that are used most often in that job description. Now, you can do this with company information. You can do this with somebody's summary on their LinkedIn profile. If you're trying to find those keywords, if you're trying to figure out what you should add to your profile, and you already have a good idea of the type of career that you're looking for, copy and paste that job description right here into TagCrowd and use these keywords. So it's showing you, right? Experience, development, professional, managing, organizing, transformation, training. Figure out a way, if it's applicable to you and your experience, to use some of these keywords in your profile. This is one of my best tips. This is also a tip that I give when you're creating your resume and you're trying to make your resume tailored to a specific position. So if you're ever wondering, how do I find keywords? What should I put in my LinkedIn profile or even your resume? Use TagCrowd, because it's showing you right here the words and the keywords that are most important. All right, so I'm also going to go back over here. I mentioned to you guys really quickly that you can also search for employer profiles. So do any of you guys have an employer in mind that you want to work for already? If you do, pop it over into the chat and let's look them up on LinkedIn. Any dream employers or places that you'd love to work at someday? And if you don't, that's okay. There we go. There we have a brave soul. Xanterra, Google. Yes, Google, Xanterra. Okay, so let's do Google real quick and then we'll try Xanterra next. So Google, okay, of course they have a LinkedIn profile, right? You can go right here. You can search for their profile. You can follow them. So what this does, in the beginning, I was talking about staying up to date on industry trends. You can click follow. What's going to happen when you start following Google is every time you log into LinkedIn on your feed right here, which is what we're looking at right here, we're going to get updates. Anytime Google shares something or updates their profile or shares articles that might be of interest, now you're able to follow industry trends. So let's go back to the employer profile here. Let's see what else we can find. We can find about them. So you could take their about information, you could copy and paste it into that TagCrowd, use some of those keywords that pop up to put into your profile. You can go right here to jobs that they have posted, so you can learn more about specific positions. Again, here's a learning and development program lead, right? This could be something within HR. You could copy and paste this job description, put it into TagCrowd, get keywords that way. So there's one way to do it. Let's do Xanterra as well and see if they have one, and they do. And actually, who mentioned Xanterra? They're actually hiring right now. I actually just talked to the recruiter. So Lee, you might want to shoot me an email after the end of this if you want to chit chat a little bit about some of the positions they have available. There's my email address because they're hiring right now. So Xanterra Travel Collection, they do have one. We can view jobs. We can view their employer profile, the same thing. You can click follow right here again, so you can stay up to date on things that are happening. And some of the employer profiles you guys are also going to see here, you can create job alerts. So you can click here, you can type in any type of job titles or positions that you might be interested in, and then you can set up job alerts. So it'll actually email you anytime this company has new jobs that match your search criteria. So that's another really cool thing that you can do on LinkedIn. All right, so I'm going to go back now over to our presentation so we can continue on. I could talk about LinkedIn all day, but I want to stay on task with everything we're wanting to learn today. Okay. Just one second. For some reason, it's not wanting to pop up here. Here we go. All right, so we went through keywords. I think you guys have some pretty great strategies now for how to figure out keywords that should be on your LinkedIn profile, how to find something to put on your areas of expertise. There's all sorts of ways to do it. So let's talk a little bit about adding work experience now, right? Definitely important. You definitely want to have your work experience on your LinkedIn profile. Now, You know, if you're a student and you don't have a ton of work experience, that's okay. You can add also education, volunteer experience. When you go to this add a section and you see over here on the left of the screen, you can add volunteer, you can add any type of things that you're passionate about, any type of experience, whether it's actually work or not. So you can kind of scroll down and add whatever sections you want to. But this is for work experience specifically. So you can just go to add a profile section, add work experience. You know, it'll have you type in your title of your position, the company, the location, start and end date, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can upload any media. So again, you know, for like our culinary students that are on the phone, if you have pictures of some of the things that you've made and you want to use that as kind of an online portfolio, you can do that. You can upload pictures to really showcase your work. You know, if you are a graphic design student, or if you have a portfolio of some type, or maybe a website. So some of our technology students, I know we have, I think I saw a computer science or a cybersecurity student on today. You guys can add anything that can highlight some of your work experience. So definitely consider doing that. It just makes it a little bit more, again, that depth that we were talking about that your resume doesn't have. It gives you the opportunity to showcase your work. And then you can also share this with your network. So there is an opportunity for you to click share with network. So anytime you add anything to your profile, LinkedIn's going to say, hey, do you want to share this with your network? Sharing with your network means that you're sharing it with any people that you're connected to. So on my profile, you'll see here, I have 500 plus connections. If I added some work experience and I said, yes, share with my network, all 500 plus people are going to get a notification on their LinkedIn the next time they log in that says, hey, Becca Abel has updated her profile with new work experience. Check it out. And then people can go and they can see, oh, wow, she got a new job. They can congratulate you. You know, there's some different things there. And you don't have to share it with your network. You can also choose no, and you can just update it as you want if you don't want your network to get, you know, a bunch of notifications. All right, so that is work experience. It's pretty straightforward, this one, so we don't need to spend a ton of time on it. Adding your education. This one's also pretty straightforward. You know, you'll go to your add a profile section, just like I showed you on the last view, add education. And if you're registered as a student, it's already going to be on your profile. It'll kind of automatically add it for you. You can edit it though. You can change it up if you want to. You can choose all the information, right? You can choose anything that you participated in. So if you were on sports, clubs, organizations, you know, maybe you're part of the business club, or, you know, maybe you're a part of, you know, the honors club at Pima, or you're a student senator, whatever it might be. You can add all of that under your education. And then you'll have the opportunity also to write a description. So you can describe some of your educational experience. This is where you can share things that you're proud of, accomplishments that you've had, maybe really impactful projects that you've worked on, or things that you were able to achieve. Again, it's your opportunity to really make your experience stand out to somebody. So take the time to brag on yourself a little bit. So that's what it's all about. So that's the education piece. Now we're going to go to add skills. So in addition to adding all those keywords that I talked about, there's also a section at the bottom of your LinkedIn profile where you can add skills and endorsements. So I'm going to show you guys what this looks like here in a second and where you can find it. But you can add anything that you are really, really good at. And when you add it here under skills and endorsements, it gives your network, the people you're connected to, the opportunity to endorse you. So you can see here, I added resume writing under my skills and endorsements. And I have 64 people who have went in and they have said, yes, Becca is really good at this. You'll see that I have career counseling under my skills. 54 people in my network have said, yes, Becca's really good at this. So it's an opportunity for people to vote, kind of upvote your skills. They can say, yeah, like Lee's really awesome at this. Like, let's make sure that we give, you know, an endorsement there. Let me show you guys really quickly what this looks like, because this is a really fun way for you to get those endorsements. You know, we talk a lot about making sure that we have recommendations and we have people that can vouch for our work. This is one way that you can get that on LinkedIn. So let's go back to my profile here. We're going to scroll down to the bottom. Dun, 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 dun. all the way at the bottom. Done. Here we go, skills and endorsements. So you can add new skills here. So let's say, let's do, well, I've already reached my maximum, so I can't really add any, but you could add things like, if you're a computer science student, you can add any types of programs that you've worked on. If you're an HR student, you can add that you have experience in, maybe an HRIS system, or you have experience in, employee relations. It's also going to suggest skills based on your profile that you can then just press a little add button and you can add it. So once you have your skills, you can have a total of 50. You can't go over that, so you can only have 50 tops. And once you get those 50, you can then have people endorse you. And so that's when people can say, yep, they do a really good job. She's really good at this. You can also take skill quizzes. And so you can go in here, you can take quizzes on PowerPoint, Outlook, industry knowledge, tools and technology. And if you do well on the quiz, you get a badge, and the badge will show up on your LinkedIn profile as well. So it shows like, oh yeah, like, they took a quiz on Adobe Acrobat. They definitely know how to do it. And then your profile will show, yep, there's a badge for that. So they can, you kind of showcase your skills that way as well. All right, any questions about any of this before we move to the next section of the presentation? We're kind of getting close to the end now. Nothing yet. All right. Again, don't be shy if you guys do have questions. So another thing you can do on your profile is give and get recommendations. Oh, I see something. I get that once people see our profile, it is up to us to make them click it, etc. And I don't know how LinkedIn works, but is there an algorithm that prefers some profiles over others? Yes, there is an algorithm, and it's all based on those keywords. So you're going to want to make sure that you have the right keywords in your summary and also in your work experience and your education. So you got to kind of put on, pretend like you're a recruiter or a hiring manager searching for somebody, right? So maybe you're looking for a position in, let's just say you're looking for an admin assistant position. I'm just going to throw something out there, right? You're going to want to figure out, okay, what keywords do I need to have on my profile so that somebody will find me? So think about it, admin assistant. Go and find some admin assistant LinkedIn profiles. Go and find some admin assistant job descriptions. Put them into Tag Crowd. Get those big keywords and then kind of pepper them throughout your profile. That's going to help you get found in the algorithm. That's going to ensure that you come up on the top of that search. So that's my best advice, is to do that. You're welcome. Good question. I bet a lot of people were probably wondering the same thing. So another thing that you guys can add to your LinkedIn profile, and this is something after you have your network, after you're connected with people, is you can ask people to give you recommendations. So you can go to add a profile section. You can then add recommendations, and you can send out messages via LinkedIn that say, hey, would you give me a recommendation on my LinkedIn profile? Now it's going to send a default message if you do that. I recommend deleting the default message and writing in what you want them to share. So maybe you worked with one of your faculty on a project and you'd like that faculty member to just write you a recommendation on, your teamwork and your communication and how well you did on that project. They can then just go right in and they can leave you a review. You can review it and decide if you want to put it on your profile. But the more reviews and recommendations that you have, right, the more chances are that somebody is going to reach out to you and say, hey, we'd like to talk with you about a position, because now they even see that you have recommendations and referrals on your profile. Again, this is something that you're not going to do now. You're going to do it once you get everything else set up, but it is there for you to use should you want to. All right, and then we have one from Tremaine that I just saw come through. Would you happen to know if other connections are prompted when you add a skill for them to endorse, or do you kind of have to ask them to endorse that skill? That's a good question, both. So anytime you add a bunch of skills, it'll show up in notifications that'll say, oh, Rebecca Abel has added a bunch of skills. Would you recommend her for these? Or would you endorse these skills? You've worked with her before. So your connections are going to get some nudges, I call it, right? Just some little notifications in their LinkedIn that say, hey, Tremaine has added some skills. Would you endorse them for these things? Do you think that these are things that they're good at? And then that person can go in and say yes. They can't say no. They can't say, oh, Tremaine's awful at this. It's only going to show up if they give you a thumbs up and they say yes. Yes, he's really good at these things. So you can do it that way, or you can also ask people to just go into your profile and endorse your skills for you. So you can do it either way. But yes, it will show up as a nudge in your connections to endorse you. All right. I think that's the only one we have. Oh, also, is asking people you meet throughout your college career the best way to get people to connect you on LinkedIn, or cold connecting in the field the best way? Okay, good question. Both. So right now, as a student, right, you're working with a lot of different faculty. You're working with other students, with peers, with people in professional roles. You want to start collecting that LinkedIn network now. So anytime you are interfacing with someone in a professional way, right, whether it's at school or outside of school, you're going to want to add them to your LinkedIn, right? If there's somebody that you want to have a professional relationship moving forward. So start connecting with them now. A good portion of our faculty and our staff at Pima are already on LinkedIn, so you can start connecting with everybody. And then once you get closer to starting your job and your career search, you can start cold connecting. And so for everybody on the call, what Tremaine is talking about is you can go and you can just connect with people that maybe you haven't actually met yet. And maybe it's people working in the industry, people that have a job that you're ultimately wanting to have, recruiters for different companies that you want to work for. You can connect with all of those people. So let's say you go and you want to connect with someone at Google, a recruiter at Google. You can send them a connection request. And in that connection request, you're going to want to put why you're wanting to connect with them. So you're going to want to put, I would love to connect with you and follow any type of job positions that are available. I'm a current student just getting started on my career path. That person then gets to choose whether or not they want to connect with you. When you put that personalized message, there's a better chance that they're going to say, oh yeah, absolutely, let's connect, let's stay in touch. Maybe there'll be something available at some point in time. So definitely cold connecting can be valuable as long as you personalize your messages and also start connecting with all of the people that you work with now, or that you're, in school with, your faculty and staff. So both. Hopefully that helped. All right, so giving and getting recommendations. I don't think we need to go through this one anymore. Once you get to this point, you can add a recommendation section to your profile and start asking for these. All right, so I think we have another one. Oh, thank you very much. You're welcome. All right, so making your URL customized. You guys, when Tremaine's questions were just coming through about connecting with people right now, people that you already know, that you're already working with. There's two ways that you can do this. You can give them your current LinkedIn URL, which is going to look like the one on the right with the big red X. LinkedIn automatically gives you this long, numbered URL. So if you're like, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn, you're not going to want to say, I'm linkedin.com/4536734, right? That doesn't sound right. You're going to want to personalize your URL. So you can say, hey, Tremaine, let's connect on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is linkedin.com/rable1. Find me on LinkedIn. Let's connect. So it's a lot easier for you if you have a personalized URL. The other reason you need to personalize your URL is because you need to add your LinkedIn to your resume. And it needs to be at the top, at the same place your email and your name is. And it makes it really easy for recruiters to be able to go to find you. So make sure you take the time to do this. It literally takes 2 seconds. At the top of your profile, you see where that green arrow is? It says edit public profile and URL. All you do is click on that and you choose what you want your URL to be. Make it super simple, make it super easy. The system will tell you if it's already used and you'll have to find something else. But just think like easy, clear, concise, because this is something that you're going to want to put on the top of that resume. It's something that you're going to want to be able to tell people if you're at a networking event. Say, hey, my LinkedIn URL is rable1. Then people are like, okay, great. Let me pull out my phone. I'm just going to type it in. Oh, great. We're connected. So definitely take the time to edit your URL. Really, really important advice. All right. So you can start building your network. We've actually already went through this one because we kind of jumped through a couple different areas as we went on. But building your network, you can search for people. So this is what the cold contacting would be, kind of like Tremaine was asking. If you find somebody that you want to connect with, right? So like right here, Director of Employer Engagement and Career Services. Okay, maybe I'm looking to join the Employer Engagement and Career Services Department at Pima. I'm going to want to connect with Denise. So I'm going to click connect. And I'm going to type in here under message, a personal message. And I can just say like, hey, Denise, I'm really interested in joining your department someday. I'm a current student at Pima College. Would you be interested in connecting with me so that I can stay in touch? There's a good chance that she's going to say, absolutely, let's stay in touch and see what's available. But this is how you do it. So you just click there, you go to connect, you send a message, click send. Pretty easy. And then once you're connected, LinkedIn will start suggesting other people that you might know. So once it starts to see, okay, like, you have a bunch of different people that you're connected with, it's going to start suggesting other people within those organizations or other people that have similar positions that you might want to consider requesting and connecting with. All right, joining groups. So let's see, we had something come in just now. Would it be okay to also use a shortened version of your name, or is it that deemed unprofessional? For example, I usually go by Trey. Would it be okay for me to use that instead of my full name? Absolutely. So my full name is Rebecca. I like to go by Becca. I feel like if it says Rebecca, I feel like I'm in trouble. So you can do either. If you feel more comfortable with people calling you Trey, then put Trey. Your LinkedIn profile is about highlighting who you are. It's not necessarily about having to be as rigid as like a professional resume. So put Trey, absolutely. Okay, so joining groups. One of the other really great things on LinkedIn when it comes to networking and being seen by people is to join groups. So for all of you, regardless of your program of study or the program that you're in, there are professional groups that you can join as a student. And on LinkedIn, those are free groups. So right here, so for our HR student that's on the phone, I just happen to have this one up, which is SHRM, which is like the gold standard of networking groups for HR. You can request to join this group. There's 203,000 members currently in this group. And what it does is it gives you access to all of the people in here. You can follow the conversations that you're having. You can read articles that are really, the industry standards. You can kind of learn more about different positions. So I definitely encourage you all to start going through and joining some different groups. Some of you, especially those of you that are in accounting and business classes here at Pima, soon you will be hearing about accounting and business groups that you can join on LinkedIn. Your departments are working on creating those. For the rest of you, your departments will be following soon, I hope, and creating some LinkedIn groups. So definitely join some of these different groups. It's just another opportunity for you to widen your network and for you to learn more about the industry that you're about to go into. You do have to be approved for groups. So make sure that your profile is obvious as to why you want to join. For example, if you're a culinary student, you probably are going to need to explain why you're wanting to join the HR group. So make sure that it's obvious the reason you want to join, or add a personalized message when you try and join. All right, so contributing, when you're on LinkedIn, once you're there on that feed, on that first page that I showed you, you can share posts, you can share articles, you can comment on other people's things that they're sharing. It's a way for you to increase your digital footprint. So LinkedIn isn't static. You can log in here every day and you can be sharing articles that you're finding, or commenting on other people's posts. If you're in groups, commenting on some of the conversations that are happening. Don't be afraid to jump in, right? Because this is your opportunity to really find some strong people to network with. And then one of the last things that you can do on LinkedIn is job search. And I kind of already showed you guys this one when we were going through looking at profiles, but you can go up to jobs and go down to job search, and you can find all sorts of positions that are available. And you can search by title, by skill, by city, by zip code. In some cases, you can apply directly through LinkedIn. If that's the case, you're going to want to make sure that you have a really great profile before you do that. In other cases, it'll give you opportunities to maybe network with the recruiter or the hiring manager that's hiring. So definitely take advantage of that. And then settings. So you guys have the opportunity to control your LinkedIn settings. So you can have your LinkedIn profile, set to visible or to private mode. You can, set it however you want. So you can go into your settings and change email notifications, whatever it is. So everything is controlled through your settings. So if for a while you decide, I don't really want anybody viewing my LinkedIn profile, you can kind of make it go to sleep. If you want to be able to view other people's LinkedIn profiles without them seeing you, you can set it to private mode. And then you'll see on the bottom right here, it says 2 LinkedIn members. These people viewed your profile in private mode. That's what will show up. So they won't be able to see that you've been looking at their LinkedIn profiles. So you can change your settings however you want to. And then if you need more help, you can go right here to where it says me and click on help. And you can search for all sorts of helpful articles, tips and tricks on how to use LinkedIn. So that's another great resource. And then lastly, if you guys do have a LinkedIn profile and you're interested, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. So mine is right here. It's /Rebecca Abel. Or you can also follow our Employer Engagement Career Services LinkedIn, which is /EECS. So definitely use both of those to start building your network, and reach out if you guys have more questions. I do plan on doing a part 2 of LinkedIn where we dig in even deeper on how to use this as a job searching and networking tool. And that's going to be coming in December. So I'll send all of you that are on this call today an email with all of the information on that. Is there a place to upload your resume to your profile? Is there a benefit to being a premium member? Yes, you can upload your resume to your profile. There is an opportunity. There's a section for documents, and you can upload your resume there. So yes, you can definitely have it. And the benefit to being a premium member. So everything that I just went through and showed you guys today was part of the free account. So all of it is completely free. What he's talking about is the opportunity to pay a monthly fee to become premium. So if you're serious about job searching and really finding that next job and career, then there is a lot of value to premium because it gives you insight when you're looking at jobs. It tells you if you're a top applicant for that position. It tells you how many other people have applied to certain positions and where you rank in that ranking. It gives you access to LinkedIn Learning. So you can actually take trainings and take certifications to extend your professional learning. So there's definitely some benefits to LinkedIn Premium. And you can read more about those under help on LinkedIn. If you go to that little me tab down to help and type in premium. I had premium when I was job searching. So when I started my career search, I signed up for premium for about 3 months. It also allows you to send unlimited in-mails. In-mails are professional messages to people that you're not connected to. So if you don't want to connect with them, but you just want to send them a message about a job that you've seen posted, it allows you to send those in-mails. So it can be a value for that if you're trying to really network your way into a company. But that's something that I'll add to my December LinkedIn training that we're going to do when we go more into detail when it comes to how to network and job search. So I'm making a note to add that in there. Any other questions that you guys have right now? Yeah, no worries. Anything else? I know we had to kind of speed through it and it's a lot of content. But if you guys do think of more questions or if you need some assistance or some help, I'm going to put my email over here in the chat one more time for you. You guys can reach out to me directly if you want to, again, connect with me on LinkedIn. And don't be shy, right? I'm here as a resource to help you guys get everything set up. So if there's no more questions, then I think we're all done for today. I'm going to send all of you guys to an email so that you have the YouTube channel so you can rewatch this. And I'll send you the details on the next training where we're going to go more into detail on LinkedIn. You're so welcome. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. I hope to see a bunch of you on LinkedIn soon. Bye.